Much Ado About a Wedding Ring, written by Idao, Chapter 1, The Favor. Once upon a time in the bustling city of Abuja, there lived a woman named Emma. She was happily married to her loving husband, James. Emma had recently landed a fantastic job at a prestigious company, working directly under her female boss, Rebecca. One sunny morning, as Emma prepared for another day at work, she slipped her gleaming wedding ring onto her finger. It was a symbol of the love and commitment she shared with James, a reminder of their sacred vows. Little did she know that her decision to wear that ring would soon bring about an unexpected conflict. As Emma entered the office, Rebecca beckoned her into her office. With a stern expression on her face, she requested, "Emma, I have a small favor to ask. I'd prefer if you don't wear your wedding ring while you're at work." Chapter 2. Conflicting Loyalties. Emma was taken aback by the request. Confused and curious, she inquired, "May I ask why, Rebecca? Is there a specific reason for this?" Rebecca hesitated before replying, her voice tinged with a touch of discomfort. "You see, Emma, our work environment can sometimes be a bit intense. Some clients we deal with might hold certain biases or assumptions. I want them to focus solely on your skills and abilities, rather than making judgments based on your marital status." Emma contemplated the request, torn between her loyalty to her boss and her devotion to her husband. Sensing her hesitation, Rebecca continued, "Please understand that I'm not trying to undermine your commitment to your marriage. It's just that in our line of work, appearances matter. This is about protecting your professional growth." Chapter 3. The conversation with a heavy heart, Emma nodded reluctantly. She slipped her wedding ring into her pocket, feeling an unexpected pang of sadness and discomfort as it left her finger. That evening, as Emma returned home, she couldn't help but share the conversation with James. Sitting together on their cozy couch, she recounted the boss's request, her voice tinged with frustration. James listened attentively, his face thoughtful. After a moment of contemplation, James gently spoke. "Emma, I understand Rebecca's concerns, but I also know how much your wedding ring means to you. It symbolizes our love and commitment to each other, and I believe that's something to be proud of, even at work." Chapter 4. Reaffirming Values. Emma glanced at her husband, her eyes brimming with gratitude. "But what about Rebecca's worries? She wants me to succeed professionally." James smiled warmly and took Emma's hands in his own. "My love, success shouldn't come at the cost of compromising who you are or what you cherish. You're talented and dedicated, and your skills will speak for themselves. I believe in you, and I believe that you can navigate any challenges that come your way while wearing your wedding ring proudly." Emma's heart swelled with love for her husband. She realized that he was right, and she shouldn't have to hide a significant part of herself to succeed. The next day, as Emma prepared for work, she carefully placed her wedding ring back on her finger. It felt like a renewed sense of strength, a reminder of the unwavering support she had from James. Chapter 5. Embracing Authenticity. Walking into the office, Emma was met with curious glances from some of her colleagues, but she held her head high, her wedding ring sparkling with confidence. Throughout the day, she exuded a newfound sense of authenticity, her dedication shining through her work. Chapter 6. Complications. Rebecca, infuriated that Emma disobeyed her by still adorning her wedding ring, summoned her to her office. As Emma stood in front of her defending her devotion to her marriage and her husband's wish, Rebecca reminded her what was written in her appointment letter, which obviously was not carefully studied by Emma. Rebecca gave her the last warning, opining that if she flaunted her instructions again, she would lose her job. She should choose between her wedding ring and her job. Chapter 7. An Uncomfortable Situation. Emma sat in her office utterly dejected. How was she going to sort herself out? She needed the job. In fact, they needed the job. Her loving husband had been out of job for a long while, and her losing this job would be a heavy blow to their family. Yet she did not see it right to disobey her husband too. She wondered if she could take it up with the board, letting them know what Rebecca was up to. But the fear of the unknown bugged her mind. She needed a solution. Chapter 8. Bedroom Blues. James was on the bed watching Emma closely. He noticed that her wedding ring was stuck comfortably on her ring finger, but he wasn't sure everything was okay, judging from Emma's uncomfortable gestures as she applied the facial cleanser on her face and observed his reflection on the mirror. How did it go? James asked, looking up from the book he was reading. Emma shrugged her shoulders and turned to him. I made her see reasons. I told her my ring stays on, she concluded. And what did she say? Asked James. Does she have a choice? James smiled as Emma slid into the bedsheet and drowned herself in his arms. Chapter 8. An Awkward Solution. Emma's lie gave her an idea. There was no need to cause a rift between her husband and Rebecca. At home she would wear the ring, and at work the ring would stay off. That way everyone would be happy. The next day Emma slid the ring into her ring finger, kissed James tenderly, and hurried out of the house. As she got to the office gate, she removed the wedding ring and dropped it into her bag, and walked elegantly towards her office. Chapter 9. The Aftermath. Emma returned home, and as her custom had always been, she hugged James, whose eyes were on her ring finger. Her kiss on his lips felt like bile on his lips. "Where's your wedding ring?" James asked. Emma looked at her ring finger and then gasped in frustration. She knew what this meant. She had forgotten to wear her ring back as she was heading home. That was it. The conflict had just begun.